So it will actually project pretty good.
Okay. So that means that good.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
I don't know how much battery we have there.
Oh, I can plug it in.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started with our 2020 spelling bee here at Bertha-Hewitt Schools. I want to say congratulations to our classroom spelling bee winners. Thanks for coming, and good luck to everyone today. And I'd like to introduce Miss Diane Taglin. Thank you for being here to be our pronouncer today.
Good morning. There are lots of rules. I should just direct myself to you. Lots of rules here, and I'm going to briefly go over the ones that are important for you. If you win today and you go to the Sourcewell Spelling Bee in Staples, then they will have to read, probably Mrs. Reaver has to read all of the rules in their entirety, but for our local bee, I can just hit the highlights. If at any time you have any questions, just raise your hand. I'll be glad to entertain questions. For your eligibility, this is a kind of a neat one. You cannot have won the National Spelling Bee. So if you won the National Spelling Bee at any time, you're disqualified. You are enrolled at Bertha-Hewitt, that's an official school. You can't be beyond 8th grade. Okay, you can't repeat a grade so you can be in the spelling bee. I've never heard of that happening, but just in case. You cannot have taken the PSAT, SAT, or ACT tests. You cannot have a GED. Okay, you cannot skip school to study for the spelling bee. So if any of you have missed a week of school, pretending you had the flu and you were really just studying, not legal. You cannot have reached your 15th birthday. Anybody over 15? Okay. Let's see. If you qualify, you'll have to fill out some forms and say all of these things were true. So for today, we just believe you, but if you go on, you have to certify it. You can't have any first, second, or third degree relatives that are employed by the EW Scripps Company, which does the national spelling. We will conduct the spelling bee in rounds. All of you get to spell in each round. And the word list is the one that I have gotten from the official word list people, list Scripps organization. Some of the words, different years, I've done this a lot of years, some years the words seem very easy and some years they seem so hard. I have no control over that, it's just the words that they sent to me. If any of you have special needs, we can accommodate that. That would be hearing or vision, anything like that. Okay, one year there was a boy who was blind and we were able to accommodate that. I will be pronouncing the words according to the list that I have. And if there is a homonym, I will tell you. Now, a homonym is a word that sounds exactly the same, but it's spelled differently. So you would need to listen carefully for the sentence or the definition so that you know what, which one of the words it is. When you are asked to spell, you may make requests. You can ask for a definition. You can ask that I would repeat the sentence. You can ask what part of speech is it? You know, noun, verb, adverb. The language of origin. Does it come from the German language, Latin? And you can ask if there are any alternate pronunciations. I will not be able to tell you what the root word is, and I can't tell you alternate definitions. And it says I cannot be requested to give a slower pronunciation. Pronouncer's sense of helpfulness. Okay, I want to be as helpful as I can to make sure that you all do your very best. And so if you have any of those questions, please ask. And I may offer that information. If it's a homonym or something, I may tell you that and tell you to be aware of certain things. The judges here, the 3 judges, are in complete control. Their decision is final. And they will maybe interact with you too. If there's a misunderstanding, we want to catch that first. If I say a word and you need to say the word first and you say it wrong, then we would say, stop, don't spell that word, and make sure you have the right word. We may keep making you pronounce it, but that is so we know that you know what word it is. If the pronouncer makes an error, how could that be? But anyway, the other judges will catch me and say, that's not the right way to say that, or whatever, you're in the wrong page. You cannot be, you can be disqualified if you refuse to start spelling. Okay, that seems pretty obvious. If you don't come to the microphone when it's your time. If you're sitting in the back fooling around and don't make it, you're out. You have to comply with eligibility, or if you engage in unsportsmanlike conduct. So I don't know if there are any books you could throw, but you know, if you knock over the podium or kick the person who won, that would be pretty unsportsmanlike. But we cannot disqualify you. You may do these things. It is to your advantage to say the word, spell it, say the word again. If you don't do that, we won't disqualify you, but it's to your advantage to do that. We can't disqualify you for asking a question or for saying, now this is important because you do not have to say if something is capitalized, if it has a hyphen, if it has, if it's an open compound, you don't have to say there's a space. You just spell the letters and don't worry about capitals or anything. Okay, let's see. All right, if you make a misspelling, then Mrs. Reaver will tell you the correct spelling, and she'll hold up the red circle. And we will never ask any of you to correct the other speller's misinformation. If someone spells a word wrong, the next person will not get that word. And let's see. When we get to the end of the spelling bee, there are some special rules that in the last rounds, you have to spell words 2 correctly in a row. When we get to that point, I will tell you more about that, so you don't have to be remembering that. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Appeals, that's important. If you, okay, if you spell a word and we say it's wrong, but your teacher or your parent is here and they say, no, that was right, they can come up and get an appeal sheet and fill it out and say why they think that you had it right, and we will go back and listen to the recording and make sure that that's satisfied. At the end, when it's going very fast, then the parent or teacher can stand up and say something and just say it out loud. Okay, last time, are there any questions? Okay, you have some practice words, which you know, so I remind you, go to the podium. The second person, who is the person going to spell right after that one, go stand by the podium so you're ready right away. And say the word, spell it, say the word. Okay, any questions? As we go along, if it's a very pertinent question, you can ask anytime. Okay, I think it looks like we start with Keaton. Hen.
Hen, H-E-N-N.
And since you know what word you're going to have, I'm not using a sentence for these. But when I do pronounce the official words, I will give it in a sentence. Big.
Big, B-I-G.
Old.
Old, O-L-D.
Okay, remember to say it at the end too. How.
How, H-O-W, how.
Take.
Take, T-A-K-E, take.
Made.
Made, M-A-I-D.
Okay, that would be, if I had given a sentence, you would have gotten it right. So, like, I made a kite. But good job speaking up and saying the word. Turn.
Turn, T-U-R-N, turn.
Shed.
Shed, S-H-E-D, shed.
Mind.
Mind, M-I-N-E, mind.
Was mine.
Oh,
And when you said mind, if it were official, I would have stopped you and said, that wasn't right. Okay? Deep.
Deep, D-E-E-P.
Gate.
gate, G-A-T-E, gate.
Ring.
R-I-N-G, ring.
Okay, be sure to say it first. Dog.
Dog, D-O-G, dog.
Coin.
Coin, C-O-I-N, coin.
Show.
Show. SHOW. Show.
Hunt.
Hunt. HUNT. Hunt.
Okay, what I noticed, I think you're all in good proximity to the microphone. One thing is that if you start to spell a word incorrectly, you're done. But if you're spelling, say, note, and you say N-O, and then you start again, if you say N-O-T-E, you're okay. But if you change it, if you're saying cat, K-A, you can't go back and say, no, C-A, okay? You get that part? If you start over, you have to say the same letters that you started with. Okay, we're ready to do this for real. So we start with number 1. And now I don't know how it'll work here, but if you get one wrong, you're out. I don't know where you want. I guess you could sit on the floor. We don't have chairs. Okay. Drum. The students were excited about the prospect of being allowed to play the large drum in the music room. Drum.
Drum. D-R-U-M. Drum.
Okay, this word has a homonym, so you need to listen to the definition of the sentence, and if you want the definition, we can give it to you. Hall. The king entered the hall and majestically walked between the nobles who lined the passage. Hall.
Wait a second. H-A-L-L.
Mix. The instructions said to mix the dry ingredients before adding the wet ingredients. Mix.
Mix. M-I-X. Mix.
Chips. Americans devour about 1.5 billion pounds of potato chips in a year.
Chips. C-H-I-P-S. Chips.
Okay, this word has a homonym, so listen carefully. Pie. Gina carefully cut bananas as her mom rolled out the crust for their banana cream pie.
Pie. P-I-E. Pie.
Cliff. Certain swallows like to nest in a cliff.
Cliff. C-L-I-F-F. Cliff.
Hook. Devin took off his coat and hung it on the hook by the front door. Hook.
Hook. H-O-O-K. Hook.
Still. Because she was the last hider left in the game of hide and seek, Isabella tried to remain as still as possible. Still.
S-T-I-L-L. Still.
Plot. In spite of her sister's treachery, Ogilvy will not plot against her.
Plot. P-L-O-T. Plot.
Bobcat. The bobcat is named for its tail, which appears to be cut or bobbed.
Bobcat. B-O-B-C-A-T. Bobcat.
Roller. Though less precise, using a roller to paint a house is much faster than a brush. Roller.
R-O-L-L-E-R. Roller.
Greedy. Jana thought her little brother was greedy when she saw the length of his wish list. Greedy.
Greedy. G-R-E-E-D-Y. Greedy.
Right. The next one has a homonym. The word is shake. Marta always takes the time to meet her fans and shake their hands. Shake.
Shake. S-H-A-K-E. Shake.
Proof. The look on his face was all the proof Cody's dad needed to know he was the one who ate all the cookies. Proof.
P-R-O-O-F.
Town. The town of Oliver Springs was worst hit by the storm. Town.
Town. T-O-W-N. Town.
Clever. Everyone praised the clever toddler who saved her mother's life by dialing 911. Clever.
Clever. C-L-E-V-E-R. Clever.
It's at the end of the first round, okay, and everyone is still with us, okay. Sawdust. Hannah blew the sawdust away from where she'd been sanding, to reveal the intricate design she had carved into her handmade picture frame. Sawdust.
Sawdust, S-A-W-D-U-S-T, sawdust.
Reply. Jeannie impatiently waited for a reply to her question as the post office worker ducked into the back. Reply.
Reply, R-E-A-P-L-Y.
The correct spelling. Reply, R-E-P-L-Y.
Barber. Jamie went to the barber and asked for a haircut and shave. Barber.
Barber. B-A-R-B-E-R. Barber.
Cabin. 7 American presidents were either born in or have lived in a log cabin. Cabin.
Cabin. C-A-B-I-N. Cabin.
Flame. The color of a flame changes with temperature. Flame.
Flame. F-L-A-M-E. Flame.
Powder. The powder on the donut got all over his pants when David tried to eat it. Powder.
Powder. P-O-W-D-E-R. Powder.
Cooking. Archaeological evidence suggests that humans have been cooking food as far back as 1 to 2 million years. Cooking.
Cooking. C-O-O-K-I-N-G.
This one has a homonym. The word is filters. The chemistry teacher needed to order more filters for the lab. Filters.
Filters. F-I-L-T-E-R-S. Filters.
Never. Miles was sad to realize he would never see a living dodo bird. Never.
Never. N-E-V-E-R. Never.
Sniffle. Patricia was desperate for winter to end because she no longer wanted to sniffle all day long. Sniffle.
Sniffle, S-N-I-F-F-L-E, sniffle.
Broth. Mother made 2 quarts of broth from the leftover chicken. Broth.
Broth. B-R-O-A-T-H. Broth.
The correct spelling. Broth. B-R-O-T-H. Broth.
Petal. The last petal of the sunflower fell as if to say, fall has arrived. Petal.
Petal. P-E-T-A-L. Petal.
Monday. Edgar asked Marissa if she could meet him for lunch on Monday.
Monday. M-O-N-D-A-Y. Monday.
Neon. Even though Tim was wearing neon swimming trunks, his mom had trouble spotting him on the crowded beach. Neon.
Neon. N-E-O-N. Neon.
Collect. The philatelists like to collect stamps from different countries. Collect.
Collect. C-L. C-L-L-E.
Oh, sorry, yes, collect. Collect, the correct spelling, C-O-L-L-E-C-T. Collect.
Proper. Chester did not have the proper qualifications to be an astronaut, but that didn't stop him from dreaming of going to space. Proper.
Proper. P-R-O-P-E-R. Proper.
Okay, that's the end of the next round.
So let's give a big round of applause.
Okay. Ripple. Instead of skipping across the river, Annie's rock sank straight to the bottom, sending out a massive ripple in the water. Ripple.
Ripple. R-I-P-P-L-E.
Understand. Beverly's brothers understand that her room is off limits when the door is shut. Understand.
Understand. U-N-D-E-R-S-T-A-N-D. Understand.
Benches. The beautiful lake had a looping trail lined with benches for enjoying the view. Benches.
Benches. B-E-N-C-H-E-S. Benches.
All right, this word has a homonym. The word is seal. The seal barked at the passersby as it sat upon a rock on the shoreline. Seal.
Seal. S-E-A-L. Seal.
Fumble. Because the bottom of the lake was so rocky, the children had to fumble their way back to shore. Fumble.
Fumble. F-U-M-B-L-E. Fumble.
Crowd. The crowd on the football field chanted, "We're number one." Crowd.
Crowd. C-R-O-W-D. Crowd.
On shore. Marius lives on a remote island, but he does all his business on shore.
Onshore. O-N-S-H-O-R-E. Onshore.
Deny. Because of the strong family resemblance, Carmen could not deny that David was her brother. Deny.
Deny. D-E-N-Y. Deny.
Cheer. The smile on Jenna's face never failed to cheer her classmates. Cheer.
Cheer. C-H-E-E-R. Cheer.
Special. Monty and Pat always celebrated their anniversary with a special ice cream dessert. Special.
Special. S-P-E-C-I-L. Special.
Special. S-P-E-C-I-A-L. Special.
Results. Pele drummed his fingers in anticipation as he read the race results. Results.
Results. R-E-S-U-L-T-S. Results.
Chain. After Samaya used her repair kit to fix Mark's bicycle chain, they were able to continue their ride up the mountain. Chain.
Chain. C-H-A-I-N. Chain.
Candles. Candles burning in space have a dome-shaped flame rather than a teardrop shape due to lack of gravity and convection currents. Candles.
Candle. C-A-N-D-L-U-S. Candle.
Okay, the end of another round.
Okay, let's give Isaac a big round of
Admit. Because Amaya's brother liked to brag, she didn't want to admit she enjoyed the dinner he prepared. Admit.
Admit. A-D-M-I-T. Admit.
Okay, this word has a homonym. Pieces. The pieces of the puzzle fell all over the floor when Darnell accidentally knocked the box over. Pieces.
Pieces. P-I-E-S-E-C.
Pieces. P-I-E-C-E-S. Pieces.
Smiled. Isla smiled at her sister as they entered the amusement park. Smiled.
Smile. S-M-I-L-E. Smile.
Smiled. S-M-I-L-E-D. Smiled.
Hotel. Violet booked a room in a hotel on the beach. Hotel.
Hotel. H-O-T-E-L. Hotel.
Chicken. The chicken was domesticated in China and India around 8,000 years ago. Chicken.
Chicken. C-H-I-C-K-E-N. Chicken.
Health. When Ethan was sick, it was always his mother who nursed him back to health.
Health. E-A-L-T-H. Health.
Rover. After high school, Emmeline spent a year as a rover, traveling across Europe. Rover.
Rover. R-O-V-E-R. Rover.
Okay, this word has a homonym. Crew. The ship's crew was trained to respond to almost any emergency that could occur at sea. Crew.
Crew. C-R-E-W. Crew.
Holler. Lassie knew Timmy was in trouble when she heard him holler for help. Holler.
Holler. H-O-L-L-E-R. Holler.
Ribbon. Leila tied her ponytail with a piece of black Silk, ribbon, ribbon.
Ribbon. RIBBON. Ribbon.
This word has a homonym. Waited. Marcia waited nervously for the bus to pick her up and take her to her first day of second grade. Waited.
Waited. WAITED. Waited.
Vividly. Finn vividly remembers his sixth grade family vacation to the Badlands and Mount Rushmore. Vividly.
Vividly. VIVIDLY. Vividly.
Okay, another round. Anybody
All
else?
right, round of applause for Mariana and Dan.
And just a reminder, you can ask questions, for definition and everything. So far, I don't think we've needed one. And when I tell you that the word has a homonym, sometimes the homonyms are words you wouldn't even think of. So that's why I don't really dwell too much on that. And if you listen to the sentence, it'll be very clear to you. Samples. The waiter divided the cake into samples for the wedding guests. Samples.
Samples. SAMPLES.
Adrift. Miley untied the knots and sent the boat adrift.
Adrift. ADRIFT. Adrift.
Foolishness. Jada had to laugh at her own foolishness. Foolishness.
Foolishness. FOOLISHNESS. Foolishness.
Foolishness. FOOLISHNESS. Foolishness.
Siblings. Joseph has 4 siblings, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Siblings.
Siblings. SIBLINGS. Siblings.
Argue. During the debates given in class, students were expected to argue their point of view. Argue.
ARGUE.
Manger. One of Leah's daily chores was to put feet in the manger for her father's cattle. Manger.
Manger. MANGER. Manger.
Proud. Mike was proud to be a member of the municipal police force.
Proud. PROUD. Proud.
Okay, this word has a homonym. The word is gallop. The gallop of a herd of wild mustangs could be heard for miles. Gallop.
Gallop. GALLOP. Gallop.
This next one has a homonym. Plumbing. The plumbing in the Victorian home is so old and leaky and needs to be repaired. Plumbing.
Plumbing. PLUMBING. Plumbing.
Earthquake. The new skyscraper was built with dampers designed to reduce swing in the event of an earthquake. Earthquake.
Earthquake. UARTHQUAKE. Earthquake.
Okay, did we lose anyone?
Round of applause for Lily.
And before we go on, I want to commend the audience. My goodness, I wouldn't even know you were here if I didn't see you. You're so quiet. Thank you very much. Okay, usual. Mara ordered her usual, a double cheeseburger with extra pickles. Usual.
Usual, U-S-U-A-L, usual.
Antennas. Many new cars today have antennas hidden on rear windows along with the defroster. Antennas.
Antennas, A-N-E-T-T-E-N-E-S. Antennas.
Antennas, A-N-T-E-N-N-A-S, antennas.
Chalk. Lashea picked up the chalk and solved the math problem that Mrs. McMahon had written on the board. Chalk.
Chalk. C-H-A-R, chalk. Chalk.
Brought. Tamara brought her sleeping bag and pillow to the slumber party. Brought.
Brought, B-R-O-U-G-H-T, brought.
Minivan. Maria's minivan was so spacious it could hold their entire family along with all of their luggage. Minivan.
Minivan, M-I-N-I-V-A-N, minivan.
Pavement. The pavement felt hot under Darren's bare feet. Pavement.
Pavement, P-A-V-E-M-E-N-T, pavement.
Channel. Tony likes to watch the local television news channel every night before going to bed. Channel.
Channel, C-H-A-N-N-E-L, channel.
Comfort. Even though Sierra was in college, she still found comfort in her childhood blanket. Comfort.
Comfort, C-O-N-F-O-R-T, comfort.
Tissue. The three types of muscle tissue in the human body are visceral muscle, skeletal muscle, and cardiac muscle. Tissue.
Tissue, T-I-S-S-U-E, tissue.
Round of applause for Ava.
Batteries. After camping in the woods for several nights, the students decided a nap would help them recharge their batteries. Batteries.
Batteries, B-A-T-T-E-R-I-S.
This word has a homonym. Charred. Kishwan observed that the beams were charred by the fire and would need to be replaced. Charred.
Chard, C-H-A-R-D, chard.
Chard, C-H-A-R-R-E-D, chard.
Pressure. Camilla relieves the pressure of exam season by practicing yoga. Pressure.
Pressure, P-R-E-S-S-U-R-E, pressure.
Dainty. Lucy tatted a dainty lace doily. Dainty.
Dainty, D-A-I-N-T-Y, dainty.
Reasonable. It is reasonable to expect friends to call when a loved one has passed away. Reasonable.
Reasonable. REASONABLE. Reasonable.
Station. Just before the mock fire drill, each member of the observation team took their station. Station.
Station. STAION. Station.
Station, STATION, station.
Nervous. Nervous tension can result in sleeplessness, headaches, and indigestion. Nervous.
Nervous. NERVOUS. Nervous.
Closet. Angie's mom installed new shoe racks and shelves in her walk-in closet. Closet.
Closet. CLOSET. Closet.
Okay, round of applause for Callie and Colton.
Discussion. A lively discussion followed Ms. Poole's speech. Discussion.
Discussion. DISUCIO. Discussion.
Discussion, DISCUSSION, discussion.
Microwave. Following the instructions on the package, Ted will microwave the bag of popcorn for 2 minutes. Microwave.
Microwave. MICROWAVE. Microwave.
Remarkable. Abigail arrived at the gala in a remarkable sequin dress, promptly turning every head in the room. Remarkable.
Remarkable. REMARKABLE. Remarkable.
Settle. Juan nervously watched the crowd settle into their seats. Settle.
Settle. SETTLE. Settle.
Tampered. Mariko worried that the seal to her pickle jar had been tampered with, so she threw the jar away. Tampered.
Tampered. TAMPERED.
Burlap. Christina ordered 20 burlap potato sacks to use in a race at the family reunion. Burlap.
I have a definition, please.
Certainly.
Definition.
Burlap, a coarse, heavy, plain woven fabric typically made from hemp or jute that is used for bagging and wrapping items.
Burlap. BERLAP. Burlap.
Burlap, BURLAP, burlap.
Round of applause for Keaton and Michelle.
Okay, we're getting down to the end. And so we need to be aware of the rules for the end. So far, we have 4 people here, and we have 3 first, second, third place. And in a round, if everyone gets it wrong, we just start over with that round. I don't think that would happen, but we'll see how it goes with 4 people. Once we get to 3, then it's very particular about the rules. So, scrambling. The doctors were scrambling to stop the bleeding before it got any worse. Scrambling.
Scrambling. SCRAMBLING. Scrambling.
Distressed. When his factory burned down, the distressed owner resolved to build a new one. Distressed.
Distress. D-I-S-T-R-E-S-S-E-D. Distress.
Blustery. The blustery weather forced NASA to divert the returning space shuttle to a new landing site. Blustery.
Blustery. B-L-U-S-T-E-R-Y. Blustery.
Arrange. Simon liked to arrange his books alphabetically on his bookshelf. Arrange.
Arrange. A-R-A-N-G-E. Arrange.
Arrange. A-R-R-A-N-G-E. Arrange.
Round of applause for Kendall.
Why don't we have all three of you up in the front now? Okay, so we will have a first, second, and third place. So it'll be very interesting to see who it is. Okay, extremely.
Extremely. E-X-T-R-E-M-L-Y. Extremely.
You know what? I'm gonna
Okay.
disqualify that. I didn't say a sentence. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go on to the next word. Pulse. I got so carried away with the last words. Pulse. His pulse was beginning to normalize again after Jamal had a fainting spell. Pulse.
Pulse. P-U-L-S-E. Pulse.
Garland. Clementine solemnly placed a garland of daisies on the statue's head while the choir sang the school song. Garland.
Garland. G-A-R-L-A-N-D. Garland.
Profile. Jensen's facial features came into focus when viewed in profile. Profile.
Profile. P-R-O-F-I-L-E. Profile.
Writers. The writers of the local food magazine are all passionate and thoughtful foodies. Writers.
Writers. W-R-I-T-E-R-S. Writers.
Dispute. Every Saturday morning outside the stadium, fans and ticket scalpers dispute about how much a seat for the game should cost. Dispute.
Dispute. D-I-S-P-U-T-E. Dispute.
Barrier. When Cecilia had to share a bed with her little sister while on vacation, she set up a pillow barrier down the middle to avoid any stray kicks. Barrier.
Barrier. B-A-R-R-I-E-R. Barrier.
Avoid. Because Jamal was afraid of heights, he made sure to avoid climbing ladders. Avoid.
Avoid. A-B-O-I-D. Avoid.
Distance. Clara was frustrated that the distance between her house and the nearest ice cream parlor was 22 miles. Distance.
Distance. D-I-S-T-A-N-C-E. Distance.
Fiercest. The newspaper editor became the mayor's fiercest critic. Fiercest.
Fiercest. F-I-E-R-C-I-S-T. Fiercest.
Fiercest. F-I-E-R-C-E-S-T. Fiercest.
Okay, were you the last one in the room? Yeah, okay. So you would be third place. Now for first and second place, we will do it in rounds again. And if one of you gets a word wrong, if you both get a word wrong, we start with the round again. If one of you gets it wrong, the other person must spell another word correctly. If you don't, we go back to the two of you, okay? And if you don't totally get it, I'll walk you through it, okay? Okay. Abated. As the storm abated, the captain suggested part of his crew return to their quarters to get some well-deserved rest. Abated.
Abated. A-B-A-D-E-D.
A-B-A-T-E-D. Abated.
Scattering. Helga tensed up when she saw the spiders scattering as she turned the basement light on. Scattering.
Scattering. S-C-A-T-T-E-R-I-N-G.
Okay, that's good, but if she's going to be in the first place, she has to spell another word correctly. The word is messenger. Tai Yun didn't like being the messenger of bad news, but someone had to do it. Messenger.
Messenger. M-E-S-S-E-N-G-E-R. Messenger.
Christmas.
I laughed at myself. I should go buy lunch.
The bearded one.
Hardly bad.
Okay, here we go. Line up for the one. All fifth grade. Hold on. Carly, we're not going anywhere.
Good call.
Decide. Go with it. Sound like you know what you're talking about anyway. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, thank you so much, Diane. You're welcome. I enjoy it.
I don't know how to shut this thing off. No
We
clue.
call Scott.
Could ya?
Yeah, I will.
Thanks.
Scott was my senior one time.
Oh, yeah.
So Sherry and.
Oh, okay. Now, and then you went to the Valley? No, it didn't. Here? Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyway, so Scott had a concern to the spelling bee. So it makes me a little nervous about spelling, but you know, yes, I know, I was teaching.
Yeah.
But then I say, it makes me really nervous around the technology, so I really
Sure,
hard to
yeah.
understand. Everyone has their gifts. That audience, that was.
They were good.
That was exemplary.
Yeah. They were fun.
And maybe because we weren't on folding chairs like they was doing the rest of the.
Yeah, but they're
It's
squirming in and you can hear the chairs clanking.
Yeah, even if they squirm, it's just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they did a great job. And so did you. Thank you again for helping out. So signing up for next year?
Sure.
All right.
I just have to address this perfect.
Must be done, huh?
I don't want to break anything. I don't want to shut that thing off. So
Who's the big winner?
Miette Hansel back to back.
All right.
Went last year and this year.
Oh my God.
New student for us, got second place, Ariel Olson.
Really?
And Nathan Bloshik third place.
Oh, well, that's cool. Let's see. Good deal. Okay, so that is done.